The girl is passing through a 100-meter suspension bridge, but the bridge she thought was safe was about to collapse. The captain clearly discovered a problem with the suspension bridge, shouting for the girl to fasten her safety rope, but this completely flustered him. Start accelerating and running. As the strength under your feet increases, accelerated the speed of the bridge cable loosening. The bridge deck begins to tilt. Just fell off at a glance. The girl couldn't help but shout loudly, grasp the rope with both hands tightly, hanging on top. I don't know what to do. But the danger did not stop. The wooden board also fell off with it, and the girl is hanging on the iron lock like this. My friend quickly threw the rope into the girl's hand, pulled back desperately, and the speed at which the rope loosens is also getting faster and faster. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the girl was successfully saved. This is an old and disrepaired climbing sanctuary. Both sides are cliffs and cliffs. It is also a place that many climbers aspire to. These young people are one of them. The passage back has been cut off. Now their only way is to climb the cliff, climb down. Although a few people are already experienced climbers, but this cliff, which is almost 90 degrees, still makes their nerves tense. At the foot is a 100-meter cliff. Any carelessness. Xiaoming explained that every step here is negotiating with the god of death. They walked cautiously forward, but when I was crossing a stone wall, the rope I built suddenly broke. The ladder also disappears here. A few people can no longer move forward. As a professional climber, the captain and Xiaojin decided to climb up barehanded, then put down the rope, pull others up. The two just left. The little white behind started to tremble all over, because he's not a climbing enthusiast, even mild acrophobia. The reason why he participated in this event, completely for the pursuit of the backbone of the Xiaomei team. One go. Xiaobai fell into a panic in an instant, starting to constantly sweat out, stuck on the rock nails underfoot, due to the weight of his entire body being pressed against it, causing the detachment of rock nails. Move the bald head next to me. Wanna pull him, and it also fell down. Two people hanging in the air, due to excessive fear. Xiaobai, non-stop thumping. Bald head reminds him not to move around. But Xiaobai just doesn't listen. The movements under my feet did not stop at all. Xiaomei on the side wants to go to Lala, but due to the distance being too far, I can't even reach it. These two men are hanging in mid-air. Below is the abyss. I'm about to die on a cliff, and they can only hope on the two people who just climbed the cliff top. But when the man at the top of the cliff was about to release the rope, a person accidentally stepped on a trap. The girl came forward to save him, trying to break open the trap with all my strength. The result was not only unsuccessful, still bouncing back. The intense pain made the man scream out loud, and at this moment, the two people hanging in the air are almost unable to hold on. Fortunately, at the last moment, Xiaojin threw down the rope. The two climbed up along the rope. When Xiaojin and others arrive, there's only one bloody trap left at the scene, and the captain has already disappeared. Are there any other creatures in this forest? A few people were scared out of their wits. We can only search for the captain in the forest. But suddenly walking bareheaded and clashing with Xiaobai, the two had a disagreement and started fighting. Xiaomei used to persuade others to fight, but suddenly fell into the hole under my feet. The cave entrance is pitch black. I don't know how deep it is either. Xiaojin tied the rope to her body, slowly go down and discover, the bottom is covered with sharp spikes. Fortunately, Xiaomei only pierced her arm. Xiaojin helped him pull out his arm, and then he was rescued. After dressing the wound, a few people continued to move forward. The sky gradually darkened. In this unknown forest, a few people decided to tie it to a rope. To prevent getting lost, they decided to find a place to hide first. Just then, a sharp arrow pierced Xiaojin's body. The intense pain made him unable to shout. Want to pull the rope to remind your companions. But I found that the rope had also been cut by someone. When my companions discover it, he was violently dragged away by a mysterious force. Helplessly, the three of them decided to find a place to hide first. Halfway, they saw a wooden house walk in. Want to rest. I saw the captain's body as soon as I entered the door. The clothes were stripped bare. There are scars all over my body. They searched around the house. In the basement, a bald person who sees terror. There are animal skins and bones hanging everywhere here. There's even a human head. It seems that they may have encountered a twisted killer. Is it still possible to run now? Unfortunately, they happened to collide with the killer while they were going out. Pound at Xiaobai like a wild beast. Two people engaged in a fight. The thin and weak little white fell behind. I'm about to lose it. She picked up a stone and threw it at the killer. Then turn around and run. Successfully lured away the killer demon. Xiaomei and Lordhead took the opportunity to escape from the cabin. The killer is chasing prey in the forest. He picked up a crossbow and aimed at the boy. The first arrow narrowly escaped by the boy, but the second arrow that followed hit the boy's thigh. He cried out in pain. The killer quickly caught up with the boy, but what he didn't expect was a little fat child who's easy to handle in his eyes. At this moment, there is an astonishing desire to survive. The boy pulled out the sword from his leg, firmly thrust at the killer's waist. Then he picked up the stone again, crazy smashing at his head. But a killer is also a killer. Not only did he not die, still desperately catching up, the boy ran towards the edge of the cliff, hid on the ladder. Who knew that the ladder was in disrepair for a long time? It was actually broken open. This moment, The ladder has started to crumble. The killer knows that Xiaobai will surely die. So I left. Seeing Xiaobai about to fall, Xiaomei and Baldhead arrived in time, grab his hand, just about to pull him up. But with his bald head, his eyes began to darken. The force on the hand gradually decreases, despite Xiaobei's strong plea to him. Finally, I let go of my hand. Xiaobai dodges the pursuit of the killer, but the sinister Baldhead, who couldn't escape the hearts of the people, finally held the beauty back. But I haven't had time to be happy yet. His shiny back of the head was pierced. The killer has chased after him again. All the people around us died. Xiaomei's spirit is on the brink of collapse. Chi and blood have already rushed to the top of the head. He pulled out the dagger from his waist, charged towards the killer, and how hard it is for women with explosive anger levels. Crazy stab him with a knife. But the power is ultimately too small, overpowered by a killer's backhand. Xiaomei seizes the opportunity to attack the killer's wound. The last cut sealed the throat. The killer has finally lost its combat power, and Xiaomei couldn't go straight to the K-boy either, slide towards the opposite side. The murderer stood up again with his last breath, walking towards the K-boy with a dagger. With a click, the rope was cut off. None of the 5 people were spared in the end. This movie exposes the cruelty of human nature, in such a place called Tianqunsho, in the barren mountains where the land is barren. As friends but mutual suspicion, jealousy, and deception, even killing each other. In the end, I committed my own wrongdoing and couldn't live, buried a precious life.